Well, I had my first big repair expenditure on the Big 6. New tires. I needed them. The old ones that were on here, I think they were Pirellis. I don't know how many miles were on them because I wasn't the original owner, but they were down to the wear bars. You used to stick a penny upside down in the tread, which you can still do, but there's wear bars in tires. There's one here I can feel. If you just feel in the outside groove, you'll feel the wear bars in there. It was down to them. And this thing needs to be inspected next month. So they weren't going to pass me with those tires. These are Yokohama's. They're the AVID Touring S. XJO81X has a video. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link in the prescription where you can find it, of it actually up on the lift getting the new tires in, or on. I got Yokohama's because that's exactly what I wanted. And the reason I wanted them was a couple of years ago, about 4 years ago now, I put a set of Yokohama's on the wife's car. And she has put 40,000 miles on those tires. They look brand new still. The tread there's tons of meat on it, and it was great. On Old Clanky, I used to put Michelin's on, you know, the, what were they, like MXV4s or something? They were nice tires, whatever I got, the Michelin's. I had that car, I put 120,000 miles on that car in the time I owned it. I went through 4 sets of tires, all of them Michelin. Michelin tires, in my opinion, suck. They're just awful. The Yokohamas I put on hers after 40 thou, because I would only get 30 thou out of a tire on Old Clanky, front and back. I would only get 30,000 on them. They were just worn and I had to replace them. I don't know if they were just shit tires or what, but these Yokohamas, I had great luck on her car, so I said I will put nothing but Yokohama on here. And as for the Buick, you know, it's a nice day, and XJO81X was off. So I said, hey, you want to take one of the cars with me and we'll go down there and I'll just talk to him about tires on the Buick. The reason I'm concerned is this cracking along here. I don't know what numbers he was looking at. It says tubeless radial P225 70R15. I can't quite tell the rest. Safety, blah blah blah. And then 503. He said they haven't used those numbers in a long time. I have reason to believe, the guy told me, that these tires are from 1993. I said, you think maybe 2003? He said, nope, because they went to 4 numbers then. He said 53 generally means the 50th week of 1993. He asked if it was garaged. Before I got it, it was. It don't fit in the garage, so I can't do that. It's too long, so such is. But I said, you know, what do you think? He says, well, they're old and you need tires. The cracking, if you're not going long distances, which I don't, you should get them done, but I'm not going to tell you have to and this tire is going to blow apart or anything. When I do get replacements, I'm likely going to go with the Cooper Cobra tires, and the reason I'm going with those is A, they're not an expensive tire, and I don't need an expensive tire on this car because it doesn't get much mileage, and 2, I have to have the white writing. This car with just plain black tires, no good. No good. It just wouldn't look right. It just simply wouldn't look right at all. They don't make the Firehawk Indy 500s. These are Firestone, you can see here. They don't make these with the... They still make the Indy 500 tires, but not with the white writing. and it has to be the white writing or the white wall, you know, the thin white band you used to see on cars. I've seen pictures of this car on the internet with the white wall, and it simply does not look right. It looks okay, and it could certainly fit, but this car has always had, these tires always gave it a kind of a little bit more sporty look, and that's what I like about the white writing like that. The white wall on there looks like, oh, I just drive this around town kind of thing, and that's not the image I'm going for. So I'll have to get these done. These tires are a bit bigger, so they're going to be a little bit more money, but such is, I'm not going to do them this year because I just put tires on here. The wife's car is okay for a while because, like I said, that's got plenty of meat on it, so probably next year I'll go for tires on this and go for those Cooper Cobras. So that was my first big expenditure on the Big Six. The only two things that I ever had to do to it besides maintenance, and also I'm going to need front brakes, which I'll get done in over the summer certainly, because they're just about down to the wear indicators. I mean, there's like about that much left, so they're down. The car has 73,000 on it, so you know it needs front brakes. The backs look great, but so I'll need front brakes, but that's standard maintenance stuff, as is really tires. One other thing I did have to do to this car that I had to actually spend money on to repair. When I got the car, I had the tire pressure monitoring system TPMS light on, and even though all the tires were set right, this car does not have a sensor on the spare tire, so that doesn't count. So for this car, something was wrong, and I brought it to a place, and I spent $70 to have them replace the wheel sensor right here. So they did that. And one other expenditure I had on this car was the visor. I had mentioned this on another video some time back. Toyota screwed up when they manufactured these, and they don't last. What happens is whatever mechanism in here they use up in the hinge area, whatever mechanism they use to kind of hold it in place where you put it, it fails. And what happens is the sun visor will hang about with that much of a gap, and you see it's supposed to be up like that. So what happens is it goes, and then when you get it down here, it kind of like swings down and doesn't want to stay and doesn't want to go in place and all those great things, and it's just a bear. And eventually what will happen is the hinge thing will break completely and it'll be stuck in the down position. I found a company online, hello, I found a company online that refurbishes these. You send them your old ones, but I went through the motions and everything was all set, and I sent them an email and I said, how long is the turnaround time on this? Well, I didn't get a response back for a week and a half. They finally responded and said, sorry, we were on vacation. Well, couldn't you just put that on your website then? Hey, we're currently on vacation from the week of this to that. You know, so don't send any orders, or if you do, it's going to be a longer than normal turn time. So I found one on eBay for, I think it was 72 bucks. And it just pops in. I don't remember how I did it. You have to like pop this thing down and one other doohickey or something, and then the new one pops right back up. But there are different color interiors, so you have to make sure you get the right one. And this is the right color. It may look a little bit different because this is newer than the rest, but it's otherwise identical and the right color. So you really have to be careful and get the right one if you're going to do that. So really the only repairs I'm in this car is $140. Now I get oil changes and all that great stuff, and now I needed tires because it's got 73,000 on it, and I don't know how old those tires were, but they were worn right down. The brakes, well, again, 73,000. I don't know if they were done at 35 or I have no idea. there might be paperwork on it, but I'm not going to sift through all that. It needs to be done, it needs to be done, and that's that. So that is the deal. It's cost me nothing. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to show you. This is a little notepad, and in here is a log of every time I filled, and the mileage, how many gallons, how much it cost, and the cost per gallon. This is a great thing to start doing with your car if you don't already. It takes you 1 extra minute to fill up to write this down. It's all printed on your receipt. You know, some gas stations may even email you the receipt or text it to you if you must, if you go to those. And if that's the case, then you'll have that information and just write it down in a book, because now you can look through over the years since October 26, 2015 is when I first got it, with 59.5 on it. And now we're up to 73, but I want to show you something. The last entry I made on this, if you can see there, was 3/9, March 9th of 2018. And it is now May 9th. I've gone for 2 months on this same tank of gas. Now, I don't know if you saw the needle barely move. It's kind of like a little below E, or the line. Actually, it can actually go and touch the E and still not be out of fuel. So there's still gas in here. I'm gonna, next time I have to take it out, I'm gonna fill it because it's pretty damn near empty. And if you look at the display there, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it says trip B 273.3 miles. That is all the mileage I actually got off of that full tank. The reason for that, as you see, it's 18.1. I don't drive much anymore. I don't have to drive much anymore because of a change in job. So I work from home a lot, and I very rarely take the car anywhere. There can be 4 or 5 days that go by before I go and actually take the car out. And with the Buick here, now I've been driving that because, there it is. I've been driving that because it is warmer weather now and it's nice out. But I've only put maybe a tank in there, you know, in the last month or so. And of course that doesn't get anywhere near the mileage. So that eats a lot more gas. Yes, understood. But hey, if you want to ride in style, you got to pay to play. But again, I don't really put much miles on that either. I'm lucky if this car gets, if I have to say in a month, 200 miles. That's it. At the very most, unless I have to take a long trip somewhere, nothing. I don't drive much anymore, and that's a huge fuel savings. When I was at my old job, you know, the typical 9-to-5 grind, I would burn 2 tanks a month. Figure on average, this is an 18.5 gallon tank, so it costs about 50 bucks or so at the gas prices that were. Now, of course, they're going up as always. But I was putting $100 worth of fuel in my car every month. And now I went 2 months on that same $50. So just by that switch alone, I've saved a bundle just on fuel. Well, like I said, it's damn near empty at this point, so I do need to fill it. And next time I have to take it out, first stop is going to be the gas station, which is only a mile down the road, so I'm fine. The mileage on the car is 73,026. So that's it. And if you look again in the booklet here, if I can just open the right page, 72,753, 73,026, and that was what, 200 and something, 273 miles. Every time I fill, I also reset the trip B. Trip A could be for a real trip. So that's it. So I don't put much mileage on either car. Yep, still got to pay insurance on both, still got to pay for everything else, but hey, you know, like I said, you got to pay to play. So chances are very good that by the time I'm ready for tires on this, they're going to be dry rotted rather than worn out with the amount I drive, unless of course something changes. And brakes also, I'm going to put front brakes on it soon enough, and when that's done, those brakes, shit, they'll be on here for easily 10 years with the amount I drive. So that's a wonderful thing. So if you don't have to drive, it can save you a bundle, but when you do, it's there for you. It's been an excellent car through and through. I've never had trouble with it otherwise, so that's it. Anyway, just standard maintenance, that's all you got to do, and that keeps your cars running. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.